We're going to start off by saying all praise, glory, and honor be unto Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shah, by Hashem, Rakah, Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone. Today, I noticed in my last video that it cut off. I was getting to Jeremiah chapter 51, and it cut off on me. Since then, I was doing a little more reading. All praise to Yahweh, Bashim Yahweh Shah, that I was able to go back into the history of my my phone and bring up some of the scriptures that was given to me. I believe where I left off when I was in the street is talking about how the war on drugs. This lesson is going into how the Lord have men out here set up to prophesy against countries and nations of war and evil. And I was going through before the video cut off, I was going through this thing they called the war on drugs. So I pulled up this article that's from 2000 that's 2001. Granted, it's 20 years later, right? And things, okay, let me get to this point. This is called the drug on war, or the war on drug. The drug war is the new Jim Crow. It was published in NACLA report on the Americas, July through August 2001. Despite the growing public feeling that the drug war has failed, evidently, right? No matter how many people they lock up, no matter how many drugs they capture, for some reason, unbeknownst to the whole world, drugs still have a prominent place in America, which is sorcery. Attorney General John Ashcroft has declared that he wants to escalate it. I want to renew it, he told CNN's Larry King. I want to refresh it, relaunch it, if you will. And Bush's nominees to fight the drug war have joined in Ashcroft's chorus. John Walters, the new drug czar, and Asai Hutchinson, the choice to head the Drug Enforcement Agency, the DEA, are promising ever more interdiction, incarceration, and arrest. Countries and nations of war and evil. And what's so clever about the so-called elite is how they would use money to fight something, but at the same time use that money to fight something to promote it. Now, if you ever been on the streets or whatever, and you get arrested by a cop, and you get, not all cops, but you got those certain ones, and you get apprehended, they go through your wallet, your socks or whatever, and they take your money or your drugs or whatever. All of that's not going into evidence. the same thing with this war on drug thing. A lot of stuff they confiscate don't even make it to evidence. It's not presented in the court of law. There's always it's a tactic, man. It's something that we have to humble ourselves before and understand that we're not getting out of this without having faith in Yahweh Shah. You know, you hear a lot of people say that they love the Lord, they love God. You love God, you love God. But what are you doing to show that you love God? Do you read his book? Do you study? Or do you just listen to feel-good music? You know, these artists out here that give you that feel-good music while you're driving in your car, or, you know, you want to put something on to feel like you're close to God. Granted, that's not bad. You know, there's not nothing bad about it necessarily, but how really interested are you into the Lord? Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. In the Hebrew, he is Yahweh. He is the deliverer, Yahweh Shah. For they say that, it's written, and they put Jesus in there, but it is written that he will save that's why his name is what it is, that he will save his people, the deliverer, Yahweh Shah. But they put another word in there, which is Jesus, which means earth pig. Okay? But granted, they have this war going on us. You know, they won't give it up. That was what, 2001 they said? And since then, it's only got worse. Every time they decide they want to have a war on drugs, it just get worse. You end up getting more drugs in the community. You get more guns in the community. You get more prostitution. All these things to destroy the people of the Lord. And that's why we're going to go into Jeremiah chapter 51. Thus says the Lord, behold, I will raise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them, that rise up against me, a destroying wind. For one, a destroying wind. If you read the prophecies and revelations, there is a time after the 144,000 men of the hopeful elect, the 1/3, the remnant of Israel, are sealed in their foreheads. Then will the Lord give charge to his angels to unleash the winds, to release the winds of destruction upon the earth, destroying old and young. Verse 2, and I will send unto Babylon fanners that shall fan her, and shall empty her land. For in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about. And America is known as Babylon the Great. Her enemies around her shall trouble her and come against around about her. You see what's going on in the news. You know, with what's going on overseas. Nations and countries of war and evil. Verse 3, against him that bendeth, let the archer bend his bow, and against him that lifteth himself up in his brigandine, Let's see what that means. Brigadine. Brigadine.
Brigandine.
Brigandine. Typically one made of iron rings or plates attached to canvas or other fabric. Against him that bendeth, verse 3 again, against him that bendeth, let the archer bend his bow, and against him that lifted himself up in his brigadine, and spare ye not her young men, destroy ye utterly all her hosts. So y'all spare not the young men of Israel. Your war on drugs, you name it, man. You lift yourself up. You're doing this, right? You're not having no faith that the Lord's gonna take care of what He said He's gonna do. As you could read, if you read Jeremiah 28, and Lord willing, I get a chance to do a lesson on that. But we're subject to this place. We are captives here. You have men that feel like, just because they learned this thing of Israel, that, all right, now I know who I am, I'm going to go out here and make it work for me. No, you're not going to do that. You're not going to do anything but make yourself as one of those false prophets that the Lord warned us not to listen to. You know the camp's name. I could put it this way. Anyone that's not going by the doctrine of Great Millstone, this has been one of the most eye-opening decades in a while. Now, let me get back to the scriptures though. Verse 4. Thus the slain shall fall in the land of the Chaldeans, and they that are thrust through in her streets. And yeah, the ones out here lifting up themselves, they big movie stars or whatever, entertainers, and getting all this fame, getting beat up, shot down in the streets. And Chaldeans go back to the Edomites in her land, which is America. Verse 5. For Israel have not been forsaken, nor Judah of his God, of the Lord of hosts, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah, though their land was filled with sin against the Holy One of Israel. Because we didn't want to go by the law, statutes, and commandments, because we caused sin in our own land, we had to go through this. We had to become servants. When we were the head, we became the tail. And in Deuteronomy, it was given to us that would be the case, the case. And Moses sprinkled that blood, and we accepted the oath, or the covenant, and we broke it. But once again, chapter 5, for Israel have not been forsaken, nor Judah of his God. Because, for a while y'all had us, man. We didn't know who our God was. We didn't know who we were. We didn't even know that we had any importance or this much importance when it comes to the scriptures, to the word of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah. To the 1611 Bible, Holy Bible, or the Apocrypha and the Holy Bible, King James Version. We had no understanding. We were completely destroyed. Right? Verse 6. Flee out of the midst of Babylon, and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense. And that's what's going on. He's tired of America and all the destruction that this place has caused. And not just America, but the beast, period. The beast system, period. Verse 7. Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Verse 8. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her. Take balm for her pain. If so be she may be healed. If so. Yeah, man. Our Lord has a sense of sarcasm as well. He already knows this place ain't going to be healed. Suddenly fallen and destroyed. But for those that want to, America is still going to be a great country, you know. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her. Take balm for her pain. And balm, you know, that's one of those like little pain relieving medicines you could rub on your shoulders, your knees, or whatever you got going on that hurts. You know, if so be she may be healed. And that's what they trying to do. They're trying to patch this place up. 2/3. All the other nations that really don't see this place being destroyed. But you got some, you got some that they fleeing. They getting away. They coming out of her. You know, from the other countries, they know this place is done with. Verse 9. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go every one into his own country. For her judgment reacheth unto heaven, and is lifted up even to the skies. Yeah, let's get there. Let's see if I can find it. In Revelations, I believe. Yep. Thank you, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah. We're going to Revelation chapter 18. And I believe I'm going to start at verse 9. And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her